Hello everybody, and we are finally here in F1 22 with what will hopefully be a very successful My Team career mode coming up over the next year. I've already failed to try and get my EA account connected to this game, so we're just going to have to live with the fact that it's not working. And we're going to get on with setting up a My Team career. I'm also going to try and find the option to turn down that music. Right, there we go. That was incredibly loud. Anyway, we're going to be getting underway. Of course, we're going to be starting at the back as a newcomer. We start at level 1 acclaim. No money and no factories, apparently. I'm not sure how we've managed that. Maybe blowing the entire budget on champagne hookers. Oh, and a Formula 1 factory. Okay, we're going to be doing a custom season, so we've got 16 races for Season 1, as we did in the 2021 seasons. I let a random generator pick the races that we're going to be going to this season, starting with Saudi Arabia for the opener, which is actually where we left off in the end of Season 3 of 2021. Go check out that video if you're still interested in that game. And we'll be finishing in Brazil for the season finale. Let's get on with the rest of the setup. Alright, let's do this. Let's create the driver. So here we are, Radiant Slothz. Let's go for the same avatar that we had previously. Just pretend, of course, that after winning the championship, we woke up from a dream. And now we're this guy, living in the real world. We are, of course, going to change this to Radiant. I know we have slow as our initials, but, you know, we're not that slow, right? Audio name. Oh, this should be good. Let's just go with green. Not that he ever says this anyway. Driver number, we're going to go with 25 because that's how old I am, and we're covered for next March when I turn 26. Not if I turn 27 though, so watch out for the next game. Then let's advance.
Now let's focus on your driver's look.
Awesome, right, let's get this helmet right. Limited options as before with the last F1 game launch. Okay, there's the interesting looking livery.
Great. Now let's set up some of the key details of your new team.
Okay, team details time.
What name would you like to give the team?
We're going to actually change the name this time to Slothz.
Nice. Now, some kind of income stream is critical, so we need to sign a primary sponsor.
Primary sponsor.
Our primary sponsor will pay a sign-on bonus to the team up front. This is vital to cover the early investments we need to make. They'll also provide valuable weekly income for us. Each sponsor has a goal they want the team to achieve. If we hit that goal, the sponsor will pay us an additional goal bonus.
Okay, so in terms of sponsors, we've got a few here to choose from. I don't think we're getting 15 points, nor getting 2 points finishes. Oh, during a season. Okay, that one might be possible. XXY, finished 8th in the Constructors. That involves beating the 3 bat markers. Difficult. 5 Constructors points in a season. You'd only have to come 10th 5 times, but with this track, with the tracks on this season, it might be difficult. 10th or better in the Constructors. I can see that being a bit easier, actually, but we don't get as much money. Complete a full season. Oh, God. Well, that seems like the obvious choice. I think we're going to go with... I'm going to go with this one. As a team, achieve 2 points finishes during a season. Oh, maybe we need to do that with our teammate as well. No. I think we're going to go with this one. Monet Paris. Which is to score 5 points in a season.
Fantastic. Now we've got a budget to work with. Our car won't be going anywhere fast without a power unit. So let's sign a power unit supplier now. We need both performance and durability from our power unit, but we also need to balance the books. We're going to have a lot of other areas to invest our cash into.
Now, during Season 1, we're going to have an absolute dog of a car, and our money can probably be spent quite nicely on some performance upgrades. So I think what we're going to do here is not give our teammate a fighting chance. And we're actually going to go with Renault and balance the field out, because Renault are only installed in one car, and that's the Alpine at the moment. So let's give them some love.
Partners for our team now.
Okay, so teammate-wise, we've got Oscar Piastri, who's an obvious choice, but he's $1 million. Going back down the field, is our teammate from last year? He is not. I was hoping to see Sean Galale here, but unfortunately, he's not going to be joining us. So, let's have a look through. We could go with one of these two. They're very, very cheap. At the same time, they're also not that great. Zindelli, maybe. I'm very tempted to go with Théo Pourchaire. I think I'm going to go with Pourchaire because he does deserve a chance here. And he's a little bit cheaper than Piastri. He's probably a little bit out of reach this season.
Looks like we can afford this power unit supplier and teammate. Go ahead and confirm if you're happy.
Right, here we go.
Let's create the livery we'll be running this season.
Time for the livery. You'll get to see
the car as we sign them throughout the year. And don't worry, we can edit our look at any time from HQ.
Right, I'm going to go design this livery, but you won't see that until a bit later on. Well, here we are in the HQ, I suppose, awaiting the first race to start. I'm still in offline mode. I just run out to grab my girlfriend from work. But this is it. This is the car. I will be honest, I missed the initial car reveal. I thought it would be part of these weekly challenges, weekly event things that go on, and we're actually starting on March 1st, which is my birthday.
To use the time between races to the fullest extent, and that's where these activities come in. Right. Manage everyone's time as efficiently as possible to maximise the team's performance.
We've got plenty of time to figure something out here, so let's have a driver training camp right before the first race. Go right back up to the top. Let's get some don't really need that. We'll get some cash. Aero and chassis, we're going to need that. We've run out of time for anything else. Okay, cool. Messages, cool. Yep. Okay, now that I've finally found the settings for it, we're going to go with these settings, which should spice up the action a little bit, make some driving moves happen throughout the game. And then we're going to get on with looking through our facilities. So you can see immediately we've actually got the Spec 1 chassis and 1.1 million. So we're going to be feeding it into, I think, this build time upgrade very shortly. For now, though, let's have a look at R&D. We know all of this already. We've got 2 aero upgrades for drag reduction and front downforce. Okay. Chassis, we've got weight reduction. That's good as well. We're going to go and get this improved energy store upgrade. And what else can we get? 450 over in here. Just a few engine upgrades at the moment. We can only improve the engine power at the moment. You don't care about durability too much. Let's have a look at where we stand. We are, okay, third last from the bottom. So things could get quite interesting here. Okay, without further ado, let's start advancing through this. We've got a whole bunch of cash and resource points. So I'm going to pause there. Do we have enough for anything? We've got 1.8 million, so we're going to go ahead and buy the upgrade for build time on the aero department. Head over to R&D again to see if there's anything else we can sneak through. 1,100 for that drag reduction. I think we're going to save for that one, I think. Let's keep going. Excellent, we got some weight reduction. And the Spec 1 aero.
It looks like you've had a meeting request from one of our departments. As the boss, departments will often reach out to you.
Let's go for it. Personnel department, what we got?
Ongoings of your team.
Driver pace or driver awareness? We'll give him some pace, I reckon.
Event, the department wants me to pass on their thanks for helping out.
Well, that is a hideous driver outfit from the side. Let's keep going. Okay, right, last but not least, we'll head over to R&D and buy that next drag reduction upgrade as we go into the next race. Let's get underway. Well, the wait is over. We're finally here after scrambling together, making these little graphics from my templates and sorting out all of the little bits and bobs that go into these videos. And not only that, but recording this entire intro and most of the race whilst muted. We now try once again after the false start thanks to EA and Steam this morning. Then my fuck up just now. We are trying to get into the first race of F1 22, and it will of course be in the Jeddah Corniche circuit, shortly followed tomorrow. At least I hope it will be tomorrow by the Miami Grand Prix for the first time on this channel. So don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you know when that's uploaded. And we'll get on to the starting grid order for the first time in Saudi Arabia. And it's no surprises it's Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. He lines up alongside his championship rival Max Verstappen, followed by the two teammates Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez. Behind them, we have the two Mercedes of George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, followed by the two Alpines of Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon in our fellow Renault-powered machinery. Then, rounding out the top 10, we have Valtteri Bottas. He's alongside Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Behind them, the other AlphaTauri, Yuki Tsunoda, sits alongside the first McLaren, Lando Norris, followed by Mick Schumacher in the lead Haas, alongside Daniel Ricciardo in the other McLaren. Then we have Zhou Guanyu, the rookie, who lines up alongside Théo Pourchaire in the Alfa Romeo and the Slothz car, followed by Alex Albon, another person reigniting his career today. He's alongside Sebastian Vettel, followed by us in P19 alongside Kevin Magnussen, and on the back row, it's no surprise, it's Nicholas Latifi and Lance Stroll. Well, here we go, trying to start this for the third time in a row because I just messed up something else there. Yes, it's been a fantastic day, and I've got another one to do as soon as I wake up. As we come down towards turn 1 for the first time, we go down the inside of Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin all the way up to 16th, but then get choked off against the concrete barrier. Now we're alongside the Williams of Alex Albon, who forces us out wide, and then Zhou Guanyu cuts across in front of us. We're back on board with the first-person driver view, as if we were playing the game with a massive lock-up there. This is the first time we've been on board with this view since, I think, Season 2, when we just kept crashing in the co-op career. And, well, the reason why we're coming back to this is because it seems like more people are interested in watching this, as opposed to just a bunch of cars going around in circles on replays. Anyway, besides this, we've also got the 50% races up to 25 laps now versus the 13 laps that featured on yesterday's video for the season finale on F1 2021. So good luck to future me over the next year in trying to get all of those edited on time and uploaded. I'm sure I will do all of them. That was sarcasm. Anyway, we're still trying to power our way through lap 1. We've crossed the halfway mark. Unfortunately, though, we've already used 30% of our ERS, and Alex Albon is absolutely harassing the back of our gearbox as we come down towards the final corner. Up ahead, our teammate Théo Pourchaire is still in P16, and he's currently in the midst of a battle with Mick Schumacher there as he goes up the inside, and also Zhou Guanyu as we make contact with Alex Albon on the inside. There's his broken end plate, but it looks as though he's going to back out of the move. He's scared of us, and Kevin Magnussen is going to take his place behind us, or at least make the effort to try to. Yes, he gets the move. Up ahead, though, Mick Schumacher battling alongside Théo Pourchaire into lap 2 as we get snaps of oversteer everywhere. It's very difficult here, even with the formation lap, to get these cars, well, get used to these cars. We've had a practice session, one qualifying session, and then well, straight into the race. Other than the formation lap, which I probably won't do again because it was just a bit pointless. Anyway, we've got a yellow flag already. Zhou Guanyu not going to get past Théo Pourchaire just yet as we round the hairpin. There is the incident. It's Valtteri Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. He was running in the points, of course, and now he is out of the race completely as we get a massive slide there out of the chicane. Magnussen is going to be looking at the back of us. He actually was the first car that we encountered on track in the free practice mode when I was doing some race acclimatization. And let's just say, in that mode, he decided to run into the back of us. It's not recorded, unfortunately, but it did happen. So he's got a beef with us right now, and I feel as though this might continue into other races as Zhou Guanyu goes around the outside of our teammate, unsuccessfully, still in P16, thanks to Valtteri Bottas' retirement. But as we come down towards turn 1, we got a good run on him. DRS is not enabled just yet for us on this occasion. And nearly run into the back of him and our teammate there as we come into the first couple of corners. We tried to straighten up a little earlier there, and we managed to get the move done on Zhou Guanyu, taking advantage of him there. Go round the outside into that left-hander, just about keeping it within the white lines. And I mean just. And we've managed to stay ahead of the Alfa Romeo. This is the onboard from that move there. Alfa Romeo just cuts across the back of us. I don't know if he made contact with Théo Pourchaire there and just kicked him out, and that was why he locked up. It's very hard to tell, but either way, it was a very near miss for us running into the back of our teammate in the first race as we go on board with Zhou Guanyu on the move. Okay, no contact made, but he did just get in everyone's way, which didn't help matters as you watch our car go past. I don't know what it is about our car with the metallic colour scheme that I've gone for with the purple, but it reminds me of an American classic car. I don't really know what it is about it, but I think just the American classic car comes to mind when I see the side profile, especially with the sponsor that we went with there as well, which if you're wondering, I don't actually remember the name of. It's something Paris, but it was so long ago. It was about 4 hours ago that I picked that livery now, because I did have KFC as well halfway through this race. We've not reached that point, but I will make a point of noticing, of telling you when that was, because it is important. It isn't really. It might just mean that I wasn't as good because I had greasy hands. But as we come through Sector 1 on lap 5, we notice ahead of us we've got Daniel Ricciardo battling with Mick Schumacher, and it's allowed Pourchaire to close up to the back, and by proxy, us as well as Zhou Guanyu and Kevin Magnussen, who are following this pack as we go quite deep there into the hairpin. Mick Schumacher up ahead will be vulnerable in the DRS zone, but McLaren is not the fastest in the hands of Daniel Ricciardo at the moment, and we'll certainly be trying to get past him as well. Surprisingly, our car is doing much better than I expected, and we're running on 85 difficulty, just in case you're wondering, and we're keeping pace with our teammate, which I would consider to be a good sign that we're on, for the time being, a good difficulty for this level of car, as we get a good run in the DRS zone on our teammate, go down into the hairpin, about to start the next lap again. You can see the leader, Charles Leclerc, all the way up the front there. He's miles ahead as we get the DRS, go around the outside of our teammate. We give a little squeeze there as we ride on board. Ride on board, we ride off board with a little action replay cam there. We're not going to lose them, that's for sure, because they are just too good to miss, and we get to see a nice little shot of our car as we drive around the circuit. We will sprinkle them in intermittently. Let's go on board with the overtake on Théo Pourchaire. Keep him nice and far to the left-hand side just to make sure that he doesn't get any ideas, and then take the much tighter line through turn 2. Gives us that drive out of the corner. We rejoin the action on lap 8. There's a little battle going on right behind us with our teammate, who appears to have lost 2 positions in one go there. I guess he didn't have the DRS. That is a point at which our car becomes very vulnerable, as we see Ricciardo again battling with Schumacher, causing them both to close up to the back of us, to the front of us. Thankfully for us, because our car seems to perform very well at waiting for other people to battle each other and then taking advantage of it, as we try and give Schumacher the hurry up there by tearing down the inside. And just try not to get the oversteer out of that hairpin. It's very hard through there not to get it. Even though I'm running with a racing line through the corners, because I'm not Tiamat, Marduk or Arava, I still struggle out of the corners, especially the low-speed corners. I may try experimenting without the traction control just to see how I get on, because we are running a medium traction control, not full because that would just be weird, but an off is a little bit too much, and maybe try learning some of the tracks without the racing line. I just don't know if I've got enough time to. That's the problem. Anyway, through the final corner we go, and we get a good drive out of the final corner there on Mick Schumacher. Amazingly, we're going faster, but we're about to run out of ERS. Thanks, Mark. Bring back Jeff, I think, as we see Schumacher with a big lock-up into turn 1, and we're going to go around the outside of him, and we managed to get the position from him there, and we chase down the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. Just a quick check back there to make sure that Mick Schumacher was well and truly out of sight. We come down towards turn 1 on lap 11. A pack of cars led currently by Lando Norris is trying to fight their way into the points. Lando Norris currently P10, and we've got Vettel and Tsunoda. Vettel, of course, started all the way back near us, and he's managed to make some good progress here, trying to get past the AlphaTauri. Ricciardo seems to have lost a few positions since the start, but he is, I guess, doing okay. He's faster than us, that's for sure. I think the only car amongst these that might actually be technically slower is the Aston Martin. But we are working with 0 engine upgrades. I expect the Aston Martin's got at least 1 or 2 giving them the edge. As you can see how much we drop back there just from the lack of downforce that we have, as we see Kevin Magnussen goes up the inside there in the DRS zone. Sorry, Mick Schumacher. I keep thinking it's Magnussen because I saw him so much in this race. But no, it's the Haas of Mick Schumacher, and he gets us there, and we're going to get the DRS back at him. But he's now joined the train led by Lando Norris, so this might be very difficult to get past him as we come down into the final corner. There's a big lock-up from Schumacher as we go through the inside there. I just noticed the helicopter that's flying overhead. We're coming into the pit lane, though, for the first time on the game, trying to figure out what the hell is going on now. Full disclaimer, as we approach the immersive pit stop, I had no idea that I had to actually turn the wheel because the 12 appeared on screen. I thought it meant press the pit limiter button rather than turn the wheel. I'm not sure what makes me sound more stupid, to be honest. Because I don't normally play with the pit limiter enabled, because I just can't be asked. I did forget to turn it off there as I came out of the pit lane. Nevertheless, we are away. We did not do ourselves any favours. We are now 5 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo, which is not very good at all. And we come through the first corner now. We've got a few people up ahead of us coming out of the pit lane. There's Joe Granu, there's Mick Schumacher, so we've not lost a huge amount of ground. We are about where we were before, and Max Verstappen has just been exited the session, and it looks as though he's yellow flagged the sector around near where Valtteri Bottas went out. This is his onboard. He's battling with Charles Leclerc, I believe, or Carlos Sainz perhaps, and he's just lost power. So again, realism taking over as Max Verstappen exits the Grand Prix, and we get a good run on Schumacher on the beginning of lap 14 now. And we go very deep, though, into the corner. That's going to be very costly because Joe Granu is right behind us, as is Kevin Magnussen, who's looking around the inside, now around the outside. And is he going to make the move? No, he doesn't make the move just yet, or at least doesn't try to do so. But that was very costly for us. It looked as though we'd been holding them up all the way through since the pit stop. And looking down at the track map, you can see where the little bowers that we had joined the back of earlier on. It's, well, just around this corner, actually. Led, of course, by Lando Norris, but looks as though Daniel Ricciardo has swapped ends and is now leading from Vettel and Tsunoda. Then it's back to Schumacher, Joe, and us as we come flying through Sector 2. We got Kevin Magnussen trying to do a repeat of earlier on what Schumacher did to us. He's not going to try it just yet, though. And I will be changing that team colour as well, because it just looks too similar to the Aston Martin and too greeny, dully green. Anyway, Magnussen looks to the outside, and he's going to get us, but we have got the DRS.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake.
And our new Jeff has told us to keep on him. His name is probably Mark, but it's actually new Jeff. As we go down towards turn 1, we're going to try and outbrake the Haas. Not going to lock up this time and go deep into the corner, but we have got good position there on the track. We've got ahead of him, and we've managed to squeeze him out and get the position. Thankfully for us, up ahead, Schumacher and Joe are fighting away between themselves, which is going to allow us to catch back up again and hopefully get DRS to help defend from Kevin Magnussen, who is just behind us. It's a good job there's no DRS zone at this part of the circuit anymore. That would be absolutely catastrophic for us if there were. For now, we will continue on through the winding sections. Opening up some MFD menu there. I think that might have been a mistake by the looks of things. And Magnussen is lining up again to try another move. Can we mug him off for the second time in a row? Is the AI really that stupid to allow us through a second time? We lift there before the final corner, go through the DRS detection, and Magnussen locks up at the same place as Schumacher. We take the position back, we've got the DRS, and we take full advantage by powering down the straight as well. Anyway, we rejoin on lap 16. We are hit the barrier there as we come out of the final corner, and I accidentally slapped my microphone. And now coming down the pit straight, we're an absolute sitting duck for Magnussen. We're just going to have to put a bit of a squeeze on him, and he hits us into turn 1. That was disgusting from Kevin Magnussen. Exactly the sort of behaviour that Gunther Steiner would talk about on Drive to Survive. I think we've already found our first clip of F1 22. It's very hard not to say F1 2022. There's too many twos. Anyway, we rejoin on lap 23. Not much was going on up to this point, but we did manage to gain some ground on this gaggle of cars. Schumacher either had a touch of oversteer or was smacked in the rear in a non-sexual manner by Daniel Ricciardo there, who I guess is struggling with tyres at the moment, as we are at this stage of the Grand Prix. We've not seen the MFD flash up yet, but they are very upset with us as we go around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, and Daniel Ricciardo is going to put the squeeze on us down into the hairpin, but we're not going to be able to do much here because we're going to be forced out wide. We might be able to stick with Magnussen in the slipstream of Ricciardo. It's not enough though, the Haas is just too fast compared to us. As you get a touch of understeer there, lack of downforce or a lock-up. Magnussen all over the place there trying to get past Daniel Ricciardo. They've both got DRS, but you can see that the Haas is actually getting past. And they've slowed each other down just enough to give us the little edge here. So we get the DRS, we've closed right up to the back of the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to go to the inside. He comes across to hit us. Disgusting from the Australian. And we go down the inside into the final corner following Kevin Magnussen. Push the Australian down into P16. And now we are chasing down the Dane of Kevin Magnussen, old rival in this race, for P14. Zero pride 0 points, but 100 million glory as we come through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, possibly 5 and 6. It's very hard to tell what's counted as a corner here because pretty much the entire circuit is just a big corner that doesn't stop. Up ahead, Schumacher has managed to pull away a little bit from Zhou Guanyu, which is not good for us because we need them to battle in order to stay with this bunch. Otherwise, we will be slowly but surely left behind. That weight reduction upgrade that we managed to get through on the car doesn't appear to have made the world of difference, but I think we're going to need some engine upgrades as well because we are definitely struggling in the higher gears, and I keep forgetting to use high revs in 7th gear and then end up just sitting there in low revs in 8th gear, allowing everyone to pass me. It's it hasn't cost us too much this time. We've had the DRS twice now through there as we come down towards the final corner, and we will start the final lap of the Grand Prix, our inaugural F1 22 Grand Prix. Kevin Magnussen on Zhou Guanyu. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? I really hope he does because we could capitalise on the mistake. He's going to go to the outside. We're going to sit behind him now as we just keep it nice and tidy, go through turn 1, now through turn 2, and he's made a slight mistake. They've made contact. We're going to make contact with his wheel and try and force our way around the outside now as we come into the braking zone, and he's going to force us off the circuit. Kevin Magnussen again with a disgusting move there. We were definitely alongside him, and he has forced us off the circuit. Charles Leclerc's just finished the race, just to give you an idea of how far ahead he was. Carlos Sainz has only just crossed the line as well. And it looks like there's a Mercedes in P3. We, on the other hand, have a point to settle with Kevin Magnussen, who is slowly but surely wandered away. As you see me downshift there into 7th, just reiterating the issues that we're having with the high gears right now and engine power. Thankfully, we get the DRS on this occasion from Magnussen. It's really going to help us here against that Alfa Romeo, which we know is fairly fast. There's the tyres. Look at how bad they are right now. It's absolutely horrendous. We must have locked the rears at some point because the rear right has got a ton of damage as Zhou Guanyu. He's going to look round the outside. We're going to hug the barrier as we come down towards the final corner, get on the brakes. He's going to look round the outside. But we have managed to stay ahead of him as we come down towards the finish line. We are going to finish P14. A good outing for our first race in the Slothz car. P14 for us. And we'll look at where Porsche is finished in just a moment. And it's driver of the day for Sebastian Vettel after the first race. But, of course, it's the winner. It is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. And looking over the side of the Ferrari, you can see that Charles Leclerc is not getting out of the car for some reason, but it is George Russell who fills the final spot on the podium. So a good result for him and the Mercedes team, but Ferrari get the 1-2 just as they did in real life in Bahrain. They will take the lead of the drivers and constructors championships for the time being. We'll have to see. And we've got the new podium animation of just a man walking through a corridor. And then just followed by what will presumably be the exact same podium animation. Oh, we got something new going on. We've got a camera pan out. We've not seen that before from the podium. We got some cutaways to the team as well. That would be interesting. Oh my god, they've updated something. The game has changed, everybody. It's a new podium animation. We get to see the back of his head instead of his face. And then it just resumes with the old one. Oh, it's just the same. It's just the same. It's just a different camera angle. Okay, well, after that interesting breakdown of the camera angles on the podium, it's Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and George Russell who pick up the top results. and Charles Leclerc gets the fastest lap. They were followed by Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Lando Norris and Sebastian Vettel made his way into the top 10. So over in the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Lando Norris and Sebastian Vettel are your point scorers. And further down the order we have Yuki Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen, ourselves, Zhou Guanyu, Daniel Ricciardo, Theo Pourchaire, Lance Stroll, Alexander Albon, Nicholas Latifi, Max Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. Over in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari take the lead on 44 points over their rivals Mercedes in this universe, followed by Alpine, who take a surprise P3. Then we have Red Bull, AlphaTauri, McLaren and Aston Martin ran out the point scorers, followed by Haas, Slothz, Alfa Romeo and Williams. That's all for today. We'll catch you in the next one.